Good morning, dear students. Last day I explained you about the features of object-oriented programming. As I explained you, the main concepts of object-oriented programming are class, object, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. Today we will see about the data hiding. What is data hiding? Data hiding is related to the concept of encapsulation and abstraction. Data hiding is essential feature for arrangement of data. Arrangement of data means it is responsible to handle the data and methods. You know that class is made up by data and methods. But all the data and all the method should not be visible by everyone. So due to this purpose, we will discuss about data hiding. For example, in your school, teachers and principal, vice principals, they are permitted to go anywhere. But you are only permitted to go to your classroom. You can enter in your classroom. But you are not permitted to enter in the staff room or in the office. Next point. Monitors can enter in the staff room but after taking the permission of teacher. In this way, everything is not visible or not permitted for everyone. Okay, so this concept is known as data hiding. In this way, if we will talk about a class, in the class all the data and all the member functions are not permitted to visible or not it is not permitted to access by all the other classes. Access specifier, it is also related to the concept of data hiding, or you can say that access specifiers helps in implementing the concept of data hiding. It specifies which data can be accessed by which method. So mainly there are three types of access specifiers. First one is public, second is private, third is protected. What do you mean by public? Like the public transport, bus, trains, these all can be accessed by any person. Anybody can travel by these public transports. And what do you mean by private? Like in your home, your television, your fridge, your sofa, your bed, these all can be accessed by you only, not by any other family, not by any other person. Next one is protected, like your television. This is your private property. But if your friend will come in your home or your relative will come in your home, they can access, they can use, they can watch your television after taking your permission. So in this way, we can divide our access specifiers in three parts: public, private, and protected. Public means that method which is declared inside that class or data members, they can be accessed by any other class. By any class, it can be accessed. Next one is private. If your class is declared private, then it is not permitted at any cost, it cannot be accessed by any other class. Only the methods of that same class can be accessed. Okay. Next one is protected. Protected means only those class or those methods can be accessed. Which one? Which is the subclass of that class, or by the methods of the same class, or by the classes of the same package or subclass of the other packages. Okay, so it means they can access but by after taking the permission, or if it is the subclass of that class, it is known as protected, means it can access but after taking the permission from that class. So these are three types of access specifiers. Next topic is package. Package means package is a group of related classes. Group of related classes. So by including a specific package, user can directly use those methods which are available in that package, like java.io. All the input output methods can be used by the programmer if we will include the java.io package. Okay, so some packages are java.io, java.lang, java.util. These are the examples of some packages. And what is package? Package is a group of related classes, and if we will include that package in our program, then related methods we can use in our program. This is the main purpose of a package. Is next primitive and composite data type. Primitive and composite. Primitive means those are available already built up by the Java, and it can be available for the programmers for their uses. You all know that there are 8 type of primitive data type, as you all have done in previous classes, like boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, double. These all 8 are primitive data type which are already available for the programmers. Next one is composite data type. It will be built by the users. Generally it is made up by the multiple primitive data type, and it can be created by the programmer, like class. Class is created by the programmer, and within a class it may be possible that there are so many variables. One is of char type, second is of integer type, third is of double type. So it is the collection of different type of primitive data types. Another example of composite data type is array, about which we will study in next chapters. Next, static. What is the keyword static? It means only one instance of a given variable exists for a class. You know that in a class there are various type of uh, data members, data variables, and they all have different type of scope also. You know the scope of variables, like local variable or global variable or parameterized variable. These are the instance of the variable. Okay, so static member of a class are unique to all the objects. What is the purpose of static variables? Suppose that if you will insert a function, sorry, insert a variable within a function. So when the function will, and it is the temporary variable, so if you will execute that function, so each and every time after the execution of function, it will be destroyed. When your function work will complete, your variable will destroy. So each and every execution of function, each and every time it will develop, each and every time it will execute, and then it will destroy. So if you want a variable to retain its value throughout the program, you will declare it as static variable. Okay, so static means only one instance of a given variable exists for a complete class. Okay, and one more thing, static functions can access only static variables. Okay, and I think you all know about that, which is the static function, main function. Main function is always static. So by the main function, static functions can be accessed. Next keyword is this and new. Keyword this, why we are using this keyword this, it is used to access the current class, on which class you are working. It can access to that class only. So it presents the current class members as an object. Okay, so more explanation I am not giving you because it is not in scope. It will be explained in higher classes. Next keyword is new. You all are familiar with new. New is mainly used to allocate the memory. Whenever we are declaring any variable, or you can say that um, in case of composite data types, memory requirement is not fixed. Okay, because primitive data types can be different. So size of composite data types can vary from each other. So that's why compiler cannot allot a predefined memory to the object of these kinds. So for this purpose, we are using keyword new to allow the memory area. Okay, so what is the main purpose of keyword new? It is used to allocate the memory. Okay, and keyword this is used to access the current class. So these were the explanation for today's class. Today I explained you about the access specifiers, data hiding, and static, keyword static, package, and keyword new and this. I hope it will be helpful to you to understand this chapter. Next day we will discuss question answers, important questions from this chapter. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.